All right. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're well. Welcome to the Financial Church. I'm excited. May 3rd, we're here, and this week we are doing our monthly accounting ritual to assess our net worth and our cash flow from the past month. So welcome. I hope you're well. Let me share this really quickly on Facebook and the other social media platforms, and let's get it started. So good. So from last week, what word did you have from last week that you were making sure that you didn't say this week? Last week we talked about the power of language and how to shift our language from negative to positive. We saw how much death and negativity and all kinds of things that we didn't need to be speaking into existence occurs in some of our cliches and our daily language. And we were really monitoring our own tongue because there's life and death in the power of the tongue. And we were monitoring all the phrases that we said. And so let me know in chat, what were you working on last week to be intentional about in terms of your language? You're just joining us on Instagram. I encourage you to go to www.juliangordon.com/TFC, the Financial Church, so that you can see the slides. We're doing an activity, something that's activity-based today for the Financial Church. So you want to come over to Zoom and actually be able to see the slides, all right? Cool. So we're gonna get started in just a second. I'm sharing this real quick on social media. I wanna get as many people to see the message as possible. And all right, we are good to go. All right, good. All right, so let's get it in. I see you all in chat. Good afternoon. So Catherine from last week was, I think it's Catherine, name. Yeah, Catherine said, not saying my bad. I know from Oakland that we used to say that in Oakland a lot. And in Oakland, we also say hella, right? And so we had to be mindful of that because there's power in our words and our word never returns void. So we cannot be casual with any of our language. And I know that sounds crazy, but we cannot be casual with any of our language because anything that you speak sets a vibration forth into the universe and it never returns void. So we have to be very mindful. Now, if you say a word once, okay, that's okay, right? That's okay. It's not gonna come back and swing around the corner and do a drive-by on you, okay? It's when we repeat these things over and over again, especially when it comes to music and songs that are repeating not only out of our lips and out of our mouth, but also in our subconscious mind once they've gotten planted, okay? So what we're going to do today is we're doing our monthly financial ritual, our accounting ritual, and this is the first Sunday of every month. We do this, and this is to assess where our net worth is, because if we are moving forward and we are doing our work, then our financial value, our net worth should be increasing from month to month to month to month. It should not be going backwards, and if it is going backwards, it means we're off. We're doing something wrong, and wrong not as a judgment, not as to chastise us. It's just something to observe so that we can say, okay, this is where I'm going to make changes. And so that's why we go through this process. I've been doing this process for about 7 years now, tracking my wealth every single month. For me, I do it on the first day of the month, right? Just so I'm accurate like that. But when we come together as a financial church, we do this every first Sunday. Okay, so today there will be no treaching. And for those of you who are new, you probably don't know what a treaching is. A treaching is a teaching plus preaching. Okay, we don't just want preaching and be on a spiritual high, and then the moment we leave, that exits, right? We want something tangible. We want a teaching that's actually going to pair with the emotional state that we are in. So today is not a traditional teaching like the other days, Sundays. Today we are actually doing some real hardcore work. You're going to have to get your bank accounts open. I'm going to share with you the spreadsheet in just a second, but you're going to have to get your bank accounts open, and you're going to have to actually be putting in numbers. We need to take it's not even a hard look. We need to take an honest look at where we are financially, and so that we can plan a course and chart, really map out a course in order to all become millionaires. And I believe that that is possible for all of you. And I'm actually going to show you and prove to you how that is possible for everyone who is here today. Okay. So if you are new in chat, please let me know new. And if you're a vet, type vet. If you're new, type new. And if you're a vet, type vet. Okay. So mostly vets. Okay, we got some new folks. Good. All right, beautiful. All right, good. So let me do something real quick. I need to go get our account balance. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you're gonna learn today. Okay, got it. So let's move forward. I'm gonna share my screen with you all right now. Right here. Oops, sharing my screen, give me a second. Boom. Oh, what's going on? All right, here we go. Boom, expand. All right, sorry about that. All right, cool. So I'm sharing my screen now on Zoom. Please let me know that you can see me and hear me. If you are on Instagram, you want to come over to Zoom at juliangordon.com/TFC. That's juliangordon.com/TFC, the financial church. Okay. So let's get it started. So welcome. It's May 3rd, 2020. This is the financial church. And this week we are going to be doing our monthly accounting ritual. And this is a ritual that we do to evaluate our cash flow over the past 31 days and our net worth. This is a ritual that I've been doing in my life for the past 7 years. And it's a way for me to be in touch with my financial life, right? To be in touch with my financial life and have an honest look at what is occurring and be able to make progress forward, right? So the two questions that we're really asking when we're doing our monthly accounting ritual is, am I being a good steward of money? Okay. As you know, I don't perceive money as mine. It is not my money. Every dollar that I have, I perceive it as being God's money, and I'm a steward of it. As an heir, I'm supposed to do the best that I can with what I know, with this energy that we are able to work with, which is called money. Money, the way we define it here, is literally just stored energy. And it's stored energy from work we did in the past, work other people have done in the past, and value created in the past. And it is useless until it's used, okay? Money is useless until it is used. And so what I know about money, what I know to be true, is that when we use it, we are supposed to use it. We know that a boat is safe at the dock, right? A boat is safe at the dock, but its true purpose is to be out at sea. Money is safe in a savings account, okay? But we know that its true purpose is to be out there going towards ideals, ideas, individuals, and institutions that we believe in, okay? So we are constantly evaluating, are we being a good steward of money? The reason so much money flows through me, is because I am becoming a better and better steward of money. And so as a result, my creator continues to pour into me because it knows that money's not gonna stop. The buck does not stop here. I don't just get money and then hoard it, okay? I get money and I actually cause it to flow, right? This is why it's called currency. It's supposed to have a current. So we're asking ourselves, am I being a good steward of money? And then if not, but wherever we are, how can I improve? Okay, you could be a terrible steward of money at this moment in time, but we don't have to look at that. No judgment here. The question is, how do I improve? How do I get better? And that's what the financial church is all about. So for those of you who are here for the first time, I want to welcome you. At the financial church, we practice and we master manifestation and money. Money is just one form of manifestation. Manifestation can occur in every area of your life, from a significant other to the way your body looks to a job. Manifestation is universal. Money is just one area of manifestation that we tend to focus on here, okay? So financial spirituality, a lot of people keep these two things separate, but here we see them as one. Okay, so financial spirituality is a practice of mastering manifestation and money by learning how God creates and using the power of your mind, imagination, prayers, words, works to bring heaven, which is in the mind. Okay, said the kingdom of heaven is neither here nor there. The kingdom of heaven is within. It's right here, right? It's in the mind and in the heart mind. Okay, the subconscious mind is the heart. Anytime in the Bible where it refers to the heart, it's talking about the subconscious mind, right? Where your treasure is, that's where your heart is, okay? And then we're trying to bring the heaven, the mind, on earth, which is our material experience, so that we can all have life and have it more abundantly. So that is financial spirituality. This is the thing that we come here every single week to practice, okay? We have to know that we are all already always manifesting. We are all already always manifesting. Okay. The question is, are we being deliberate creators? Are we being intentional about that which we created? Okay. Are we able to see the correlation between the cause, which is us, and the effect that we're creating as a result of things that we planted with our mind, our thoughts, our prayers, our words, and our imagination? Okay. So we want to become deliberate creators, and that's what the focus of this is all about. Now, in this space, we do rely heavily on the Bible. I believe that it's the richest book ever to be written. But this is the non-denominational space. These are universal principles that we're extracting from the Bible. I grew up as a Baptist, and so that's the text that I rely on and know the best, and can see through the lines and see the true meanings in the metaphors. Okay, so I have a very biblical approach to my financial life, but you do not have to be a Christian to benefit from the teachings that I'm sharing with you here. As my shirt says, this is about spirituality. Here we are focused more on the relationship, your relationship to your Creator. However you define it, however you call it, then we are a religion. You can go to your religion, okay, in the morning. On 8 a.m., 9 a.m., whatever you do for your religion in the morning, if you even do religion at all, go there for your morality. Here we focus on manifestation and money and how to create, okay? And then we also here believe, or I also, everything that I say here is how I've been able to create wealth. So I'll use I, and if you choose to accept some of the I statements that I make, then accept them. If you don't, or if something doesn't resonate with you, then just throw it out. But always be here looking for at least one thing that you can grab and take with you to grow in your wealth consciousness. We are trying to escape poverty consciousness and move towards wealth consciousness. That's what this whole conversation is about. If something from a religious standpoint doesn't resonate with you, just let it roll off your shoulder and stay listening, okay? You don't want to harden your ears because you'll miss out on something extremely valuable. Here, I honestly believe that Jesus was the richest man to ever walk the face of the earth. But of course, his walk didn't require any material possession whatsoever. But because of his awareness of who he was in God and who God was in him, he had the longest line of credit a man has ever had, okay? And he could manifest instantly. Why would you need to carry a whole bunch of fish and bread when you could manifest it just like that, right? So Jesus knew who he was connected to. He knew who the source of his supply was, or what the source of his supply was. Oftentimes we say who because we think of God as a person, right? And it's easier to have a relationship with another person, but the reality is God is not a person. God is more of an it. And even in Genesis, where it talks about male and female, he created them, etc., we know that that's just referring to the masculine and the feminine in all of creation. In all of creation, right? If a cow were to create a god, it would probably look like a big golden cow, right? And so we as human beings, we have to ask ourselves, yes, God made man in its image, man being man and woman, okay? Man didn't refer to just man until like the 1800s, okay? Man and mankind refers to women included. So women, if you're here, you are not written out of the Bible. You are not written out of these religions. And please do not take the pronouns that are written in there to be exclusive, okay? You are also divine beings, not even also, you are divine beings, period. No also, okay? It's not like a secondary thing. And I want you all to be fully aware of that, all right? So some of the belief statements that I have, and I hope they resonate with you, are as follows in terms of how I relate to wealth. I believe that as a child of God, which I believe we all are, I have access to everything that is in God's will for me to have. I will receive it when I'm ready. I will receive anything to the degree that I'm ready. God is ready to give to all of us, and right here, right now, everything, the whole storehouse. But what's lacking is our readiness and willingness to receive. I seek first the kingdom of God, knowing that all things I need will be added unto me. I'm about my Father's business, and when I am, I have life and I have it more abundantly. I believe that I'm here to manifest the divine ideas planted in the heaven of my mind on earth, which is my material experience. And I believe that there is more than enough. I have more than enough, and that I am more than enough, for God is the infinite source of my supply. Okay, so these are some of my belief statements in relationship to how I've been able to create and manifest wealth in my life, and I'm just sharing those with you. Now, we know the power of the breath. In Genesis 2:7, it says, the Lord God formed man from dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. So our true wealth, to be honest with you, just to keep it 100, is not money. Okay, it's not these material things. Our true wealth is breath, okay? Because our breath is the one thing that we cannot control, that is always readily available to us. And we can't stop it even if we choose to, with the exception of suicide, okay? So our breath has to be one of the links, like the umbilical cord between us and our creator. And so we want to honor our breath, because you could have $10 million in your bank account, but if you have no more breath, then all this material wealth that you've accumulated means absolutely nothing. So this is why breathing is so important. And so what we want to do is we want to open up this space by taking a moment to just breathe and really just connect with our source and be grateful that we don't have to think about breathing, that we can trust and rely on it at every given moment, that oxygen is going to show up and be there for us. And as we go into this breathing, just 3 deep breaths, I want you to ask yourself, what would my life be like if my relationship to money was the same as my relationship to air? That is the ultimate goal, is when our relationship to money is the exact same as our relationship to air, that we know and trust that it is going to be there on demand when we need it, because our Father, Mother, God knows exactly what we need and when. Okay, so let's take a moment. I see some people saying Zoom is not letting them in. On IG, is Zoom, I see one person saying Zoom not letting them in. Was anybody else able to get in on Zoom? Anybody here? Is anybody here on Zoom right now came through Instagram? All right. Yeah, there's several people who came through Instagram and said Zoom worked for them. So please try again. I want you to see the slides for everybody who's there on Instagram. I want you to come into Zoom, because this is where you'll be able to see the slides. I teach from the slides. This is why we call it teaching, okay? So what we're gonna do right now is we are going to take 3 deep breaths. And the intention of this is to connect with your creator and your source, however you define it. The Zoom link is juliangordon.com/TFC. juliangordon.com/TFC. Okay. Ready? Deep breath in. Beautiful. The exception of those who have asthma and those dealing with the coronavirus, which is a respiratory disease. Most of us don't have to think about our breath. And that is just proof and evidence that our creator is supplying for us at every given moment, that it is thinking about us at every single moment and providing us with life. Okay. And that is what we ultimately want our relationship to, not just money, but to everything that we desire in life to be. And trust that our Mother, Father, God knows exactly what we need and will provide it at the moment that we actually need it and are ready to receive it. All right. So with that, this is a question that is only for the newbies. All you vets who have been here, you already know the answer. My question to the newbies is, who wants to be a millionaire? Who wants to be a millionaire? Let me know in chat who wants to be a millionaire. This is only for the newbies. All right, Keisha wants to be a millionaire. Jennifer said, I want to be a billionaire. Bianca wants to be a millionaire. Kiwana says, I want to be a millionaire. So Mia wants to be a millionaire. What's going on, Mia? So all the newbies, you want to be millionaires, okay? Now here's what we know is scripture itself says in the Lord's, not the Lord's Prayer, but one of the most powerful prayers in the Bible said, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not what? I shall not want. See, there are keys to this book. This is why it's the richest book of all time. There are keys hidden in this book, okay? Remember, in Genesis, there's two creation stories. There's Genesis 1 and there's Genesis 2. Genesis 1 is actually what's happening in God's mind, okay? God's mind. And don't think about God's mind as a brain like us, okay? But in God's mind, that's Genesis 1. And then Genesis 2 is really the physical manifestation. So we think what we think in the mind, and then it materializes in our experience. Like just right there, Genesis 1, Genesis 2, it shows you how God creates. And because we are children of God, we are trying to be like our Father and Mother God, and therefore we need to learn how to create like that entity in that being, okay? So who wants to be a millionaire? Nope. Here, we don't want to be a millionaire, okay? The only way to get to being a millionaire is not wanting it, because if you want to be a millionaire, you will continue to want to be a millionaire. And so here, our affirmation is, I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. Okay. I am a millionaire. Okay. Go ahead and type that in the chat. I like that. Carmelita says she's claiming it for all of us. We all are millionaires. Okay. So every individual who's here must become a multimillionaire. What do I mean by that? First, you have to become a millionaire in your mind, and then you have to become a millionaire in reality. And not reality. I can't even call it reality, because our life really happens up here. Okay. You have to become a millionaire in your mind, and then you will become a millionaire on earth, right? Heaven, on earth as it is in heaven, okay? So we actually all have to become multi-millionaires, first in our mind, and then it materializes in the earthly realm, right? When we look at a redwood tree, or a redwood tree, this is actually a redwood cone. And inside that redwood cone is this big redwood tree. Inside that redwood cone, that little redwood cone that can literally fit probably the size of a dime, is that redwood tree. And so we know that inside the seed is inside the tree, and the tree is inside the seed. The thought is in the thing, and the thing is in the thought. The cause is in the effect, and the effect is in the cause. The Christ is in the Father, and the Father is in the Christ, and the child is in the parent, and the parent is in the child. So when we talk about God here, we're not just talking about God as I don't think of God as this external thing. What we're talking about is God in us, okay? God is in us. Our body is a temple. A temple for what? Our body is a temple for what? How is God outside of us? Our bodies are a temple. Why would our body be a temple if God is outside of us? Kingdom of heaven is in here. People still have this imagery, and the artists, we need to do a better job in terms of our art. Artists have painted these elaborate ideas. What is the Sistine Chapel? These elaborate ideas of heaven up in the clouds with golden roads and things of that nature. But the scripture in and of itself says it is neither here nor there, that it is within. So what is all this imagery? Okay. What is all this imagery? And that imagery, because our mind and our subconscious mind loves to work with images because they are literal, it remembers those things. And then we start building belief systems off these things that are false. And we're wondering why we're not experiencing the kingdom of heaven here and now, okay? So the $1 million idea or identity is in you, and you are in the $1 million idea or identity, okay? And so we need to accept that as true here and now, all right? So in Mark 10:51, it says, Jesus says, what do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked him, the blind man said, Rabbi, I want to see. I want to see. He used the word want, okay? Now, everybody said that they want to be a millionaire. And we need to be very clear about when we are speaking, and we talked about this in last week, the power of our word. We need to be very clear about what it is that we want, what it is that we are going to claim and desire, okay? So if anybody remembers, anybody who's a vet who was here last month, what are the 7 types of millionaires? Because a lot of people say they want to be a millionaire, but there are actually 7 different types of millionaires. And if you're not specific about the type of millionaire that you desire, then you might become a millionaire, but not the type that you want, okay? So does anybody remember any of the 7 types? Does anybody remember any of the 7 types? If you're joining us on Instagram, please go to juliangordon.com / / whatever it is, TFC, okay? All right, nobody remembers the 7? Oh, there we go. Courtney knows. Equity millionaire, that's 1, okay? And here, this ministry is very repetitious. The subconscious mind only remembers things when it's repeated. And last week, we talked about repetition. Just like you would petition a politician for a change, right? You have to get a number of signatures. You have to continuously ask over and over and over again. So here, we deal with a lot of repetition, okay? Yes, there's net worth millionaire, there's asset-based millionaire, there's earned a millionaire, There's paper equity millionaire. Good. So y'all are getting it. So there's 7 types of millionaires. There's earned a millionaire. And everybody who's here, if you make $25,000 a year for 40 years, guess what? That's $1 million. So almost everybody who's here will be a millionaire or have made $1 million, but it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep, right? Then there's the home equity millionaire. 66% of Americans' wealth is tied into their home, okay? Then there's the paper equity millionaire. This is stocks, and a lot of people got hit hard in the past month or month and a half on that because it was just paper, okay? It was just paper. Then there's cash savings millionaire, and this is somebody who saved up $1 million. Like you go into their bank account and it has 2 commas in it, okay? They're in the 2 comma club, right? Then there's a company or job revenue millionaire. This means that you have an asset that is actually producing $1 million in revenue every single year, okay? And then there's company and job profit millionaire. And there's not too many jobs that you're gonna have that are gonna profit you $1 million or pay you $1 million, okay? There's a handful of those out there, okay? So company or job profit means that you created or built an asset that is allowing you to profit $1 million per year, okay? And then there's asset generating millionaire. That could be a company, but there's also other assets like real estate, which is one of my fortes. And that is where your assets are producing $1 million every single year for you, okay? So when we say that we want something or that we desire something or we envision something, we have to be as specific as we can about that thing, because almost everyone here will have made $1 million in their life. So I want to make $1 million. Well, guess what? $25,000 a year times 40 years is $1 million. You made $1 million. That's what you said you wanted, right? That's what you said you wanted, right? So we have to be very clear about what it is that we are asking for. Now, in Luke 16, 1 through 2, Jesus told his disciples there was a rich man whose manager was accused of wasting his possessions. So he called him in and asked him, "What is this I hear about you? Give an account of your management." Give an account of your management. All of us will have to give an account of our word. We have to give an account of how we spent our time, and we're going to have to give an account of how we spent our money. Okay. And so what we're doing every month, the first Sunday of every month, is this monthly accounting ritual where we are evaluating how we're using this stored energy that we call money and making sure that we are being good stewards of it. Now, looking at one's bank account and their net worth and their debt and things of that nature and their assets can cause shame for some folks, because here we are, we've been working, we've been living, we've been earning, but a lot of people still don't feel like they have anything. 76% of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck. Like, this is not just a Black thing. It's not just a people of color thing. 76% of Americans, this whole system and infrastructure that we're in is set up to keep people poor. Okay. And so we are not going to allow external circumstances to dictate our inheritance and the abundance that we deserve. Abundance is our birthright, and we claim that here. Okay. So as we go through this monthly accounting, I want you to know that we are not doing this to judge ourselves. Negative feelings may come up. They may arise as you look at these numbers honestly. Okay. And we're not doing this to focus on the past, because what you'll know is that what you are experiencing today, I want to make this very clear. What you are experiencing today is not based on who you are today. What you are experiencing today are the seeds that you sowed in the past that are now reaping today. Okay? So an old you sowed some seeds that today's you is now experiencing. Okay? So I just want you to be clear that we're not focusing on the past. All we can do is plant new seeds today, right? Plant new seeds today so that going forward, that we reap more abundance in our lives, right? So when we do this, it's not about judging yourself. It's not about shame, and it's not about focusing on the past. What we're doing is we are seeking to observe the fruits of our results and our old thinking, okay? Our old thinking, which is now manifest as your financial picture at this moment in time. We're here to observe those. We're also here to see what is, just what is, no judgment, and seek ways to be better stewards of that which we've already been given. We're here to find the leaks in our financial life. We're here to find out where we're hoarding money, and we're here to identify new sources to channel money to and to receive money from, okay? And then we're here to celebrate our growth. If you grew this month, if your net worth grew this month, if your income grew this month, we're here to celebrate that. And then we are here to weed anything that is restricting growth and prune to facilitate new growth. Okay, so that is what this process is really all about. Okay, like I said before, this is repetitive. We do this every single month. Petition means to make or present a formal request to an authority with respect to a particular cause. We are practicing this thing as a ritual, as a spear, as a spear. Look at this, y'all. If I take off the SPI, what is that? What's left? Ritual. This is a spear ritual that we do every single month that is going to enhance our financial life. All right. So for those of you new, we want you to be clear about the type of bucket that that we are seeking to be. Okay. A lot of people say that I'm broke, and nobody is here is broke. We do not use the word I am in this way. Okay. Broke is a temporary condition. It is not who you are. Okay. It is not who you are. You're not broke. You are fixing your finances. You are fixing your finances. You're not broke. You remain as the Creator created you. I don't care what has happened to you in your life. You remain as the Creator created you. If I have $100 bill, I ball it up. If I spit on it, if I go throw it in the mud, et cetera, guess what? Even if I rip it up and then tape it back together, it is still worth $100, no matter what has happened to it. So you have remained as the Creator created you, but your experience means that you are out of alignment. You are out of alignment primarily in your own thinking with your relationship to your Creator. You have forgotten that you are a child of God, and that that you are in the Father and Mother's will, and that everything that is is also yours. Okay. Rich, you hear the book, read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Well, this is Rich Dad, Rich Son and Daughter. Okay. If I'll put it to you this way, if I'm a millionaire, is my daughter a millionaire? Let me know in chat. If I'm a millionaire, is my daughter a millionaire? If I'm a millionaire and my daughter is in my will, is she a millionaire? Okay. If you come from an infinite source, you come from the Creator of all, then are you a millionaire? Yes, you are. And we can't forget that. We get disconnected from our lineage. Before anything, before your last name, okay, before Gordon, I'm more of a God than I am Gordon. God is my last name. And some of you might not be ready to receive that. I am more of God than I am a Gordon. Gordon is my biological last name. That is my earthly father, okay? That is his last name. But before I came to earth, where was I? I was in the spiritual realm. So God is more my last name than Gordon, right? So there are all these labels and things that we've done to disconnect ourselves from our Creator. Cultural, I'm more child of God is the highest identity that we can accept. Child of God. Anything else is beneath that. And some of those things will put some of those things out of order and forget. We'll put our culture. Oh, I'm Black. I'm African American. I'm a male. I'm a feminist. I'm rich. I'm middle class. I'm educated. I'm white collar. I'm Christian. I'm Muslim. We'll put these labels that were not there in the beginning, above the only label that existed was that we are children of God, period. That is the highest label of all. Anything else is below that. And so I'm not saying that those labels are wrong. I'm just saying we have to put them in the proper perspective and priority. Sometimes we put these other labels above the reality and the truth, which is evident that we are all children of God, all of us, every last one. There's nobody else who came from some other source. All right. So when we look at the bucket that we are seeking to be, we want to be the third bucket. The first bucket receives resource from God, not just money, resource from God, relationships, people, information, knowledge, and then they let it leak out. Okay. And no matter how much you pour into that type of individual, it never holds. And so at some point, Creator says, I can't keep pouring over there until they decide to fix up their holes. Then the next one is just a pure bucket. And the problem with the pure bucket is that this bucket only receives for itself. It only receives for itself, and it ends up hoarding the resources that it has. So ultimately, the type of bucket that we want to be is a bucket that receives, but also has a spout that gives. Giving and receiving is cyclical, okay? The reason many of us have not received is because we don't give enough. So you have to trigger that cycle and get it going, just like a stalled car, by giving and then receive, giving and receive, giving and receive. And as you become a steward of that and you keep giving in the right way, then what happens is your creator starts giving you more and more and more, because it knows that you're not going to hoard it and that you are going to give it. You receive, then you give. You receive, and you give. A lot of people who are here, and this was me too, we were givers. And we were so much givers that we ended up burnt out. We bought into this imagery of being sacrificial, right? We the one. Everybody's leaning on us. And that is an unsustainable way of giving, okay? We have to improve. In the same way that we give in such a beautiful way to others, we have to receive equally or even more so that we can continue giving sustainably, right? We need to give like a candle gives. A candle can light another candle without diminishing its own light. One candle can actually light 1,000,000 candles without diminishing its own light. But the way we've been given is kind of more like a cup where we pour out all that we have, all our energy, all our love, all our time, all our money into other people and ideas and entities. And then we're left empty, okay? That's unsustainable giving. So we need to practice the skill set of receiving. And some of you like, no, I don't want to receive. I just want to be given. Keep on trying to do that. Keep on trying to do that. It's actually, all of nature is in a cycle of giving and receiving. Look at the bees and the pollen and the flowers. It's all cycles. And so you're just going to be the one unique outlier that, oh, I was just giving. I never received anything. No. Okay. So if you are such a giver at heart, if that is your true nature as giver, I want you to be able to receive as much as you possibly can so that you can keep on giving. That's what I desire for you. Okay. So a lot of people complain about rich people, right? And there's been this idea that wealthy is wicked, right? And therefore, if wealthy is wicked in our subconscious mind, then what does that mean? Poor is. Poor is righteous. This is where you hear the language, poor righteous teacher, right? Poor righteous teacher. Like, we come up with these ideas that then have a reciprocal meaning in our minds, and then we think that poverty is righteous. There are, Joseph of Arimathea was a rich disciple of Jesus. Go look him up. He's the one that gave the land for the tomb, the temporary tomb of Jesus' body. He's the one who had the land. You can be a rich disciple, but it's a very thin, fine line to walk. It is a very fine line to walk, and that's what we're seeking to do, is how to be rich and righteous, or better yet, righteous and rich at the same time. Because I believe if you are who you say you are, I believe you should have as much economic resource as possible, because I know that you will do more good with it, okay? So that's why we teach this. So how do we increase our wealth? One, we look at our bucket and we try to stop all the leaks. This is why we're looking at our finances today. Then we increase the receiving size of the bucket so that we can receive more. Some of you only believe that your God can give this much to you, okay? And your cup runneth over, but it runneth over on a Dixie cup, okay? On a Dixie cup. I'm trying to open you up like a field goal post. I want your bowl to be this big so that you can receive more, because I know that you have a Dixie cup. Because I know that y'all all have a giving nature. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here right now if you didn't have a giving nature, okay? So I want you to open up like a field goal post so that you can receive more, because we know that when you receive more, you're going to only be able to increase your giving proportionally to your level of receiving. No more can we give more than we receive. That's impossible. It's impossible. You will be empty and depleted. How useful are you going to be then when you're empty, depleted, and burned out? Not useful at all, okay? So this is the step that a lot of people skip, is being able to receive. Not to receive to hoard and to keep for self, but to receive so that we can actually give more and do more good in the world, okay? So again, if you are on Instagram, go to juliangordon.com/TFC to join us on Zoom so you can see the slides. I'm preaching today, y'all. I didn't think I was going to be preaching. I thought we were just going to get straight into the financial stuff, but I'm preaching right now, all right? Preaching, teaching, and preaching, same time. All right, so I'm about to show y'all a proven path to becoming a millionaire. We're about to lay out your millionaire map, right? And I've actually designed this in a spreadsheet for you that I'll share with you in just a moment, okay? So this is the Millionaire map, and this is over a 20-year period. And there are 5 numbers that we need to know and to move towards if we want to become millionaires, okay? The first one is growth rate in our salary or our income. Now, for those of you who've been here, you know that your salary is not your income, okay? They call your income at your job your income, but it's really not. Your salary in a business, income is revenues minus expenses equals income. Revenues minus expenses equals income, okay? So if you are an employee, remember, we're all already entrepreneurs. An employee is simply an entrepreneur with one big client, right? So you are a business. So your salary is really just your revenues. But then you have all your living expenses, and your income is actually what's left over at the end of the month. Your income is not what you get paid by your employer. That is your revenues, okay? Your income is what's left over at the end of the month, right? So we need to make sure that your salary or your top line and your bottom line, your income, is actually growing at a certain rate every single year, okay? The next thing we need to be mindful of is our tax rate, okay? And whatever our tax rate is, our investment rate should be. Yep. So hear this. If you are in the 25% tax bracket and the government is just going to take 25% from you, then you also need to be investing 25% into your future, okay? So I actually put these as 2 the same things. Whatever your tax rate is, that's what your investment rate should be. If the government's taking 20% from you, then you need to be investing 20%, okay? It's the easy thing to know and remember. Whatever tax bracket is you're in, that's how much, whatever the government takes from you, you need to be taking and investing for yourself. Does that make sense? Yep, Teresa, great language. That's checks and balances, okay? So the government's going to deplete your wealth, then you need to actually be pouring in to grow your wealth, right? Just automatic. And hear this. You live off of what's left after those 2 things. Your living budget comes after those 2 things. Most people get their salary or their revenues, and then they live off of whatever they just start living. And then if there's something left at the end of the day, then that's what they save or invest. That's not how we operate here. I'm about to show you a proven path for you to all become millionaires. I'm not saying you'll be a millionaire overnight. This is over time, and it's just math. It's called Math for Millionaires, okay? It's just math. I'm not making these numbers up. You can go run this financial model for yourself, and this is a proven path for you all to become millionaires. So you can't operate in ignorance anymore. You can't say that, oh, the cards are stacked up against me. You can't say any of that because I'm about to give you a blueprint, okay? So the next thing is your investment return. Once you are setting aside money, I'm going to share the spreadsheet in just a second. Once you are setting aside money for investments, then you need to make sure that that money is working at a certain rate. That is your cash on cash return or your investment return. In your savings account right now, most of you are only earning 0.03%. It's 0.03%. Literally on $100,000 in the bank account, in the bank, that's $1,000. What is that? $300 on $1,000, $100,000 in a savings account at Bank of America. You're only earning $300 in interest for that entire year. $25 per month. That's sick. The banks are robbing you at gunpoint. You think the bank is protecting your money. They're the ones robbing you, got you stuck up. Because then they take that same money and loan it back to you as a mortgage or to other people at a higher interest rate, and they keep all the margin. On top of that, with the money multiplier, with the fractional reserve banking system, they're able to multiply your deposits by 10. So you loan the money to the bank for basically free. They loan it out at 4% or 5%. They're able to multiply those deposits by 10. So the bank is making 50% return on your money. 50% return on your money, and they're giving you 0.03%. Got to get your money out of these banks, y'all. You got to get them into real assets, okay? So this is a hard part of the equation. How do I get a 12% return on all of the money that I've invested? How do I get a 12% return? My real estate portfolio is around 14% right now. 14% cash on cash return. That means that my money is going to double every 6 years. All the money that I've invested is going to double every 6 years. At 0.03% interest, it's going to take you 2,400 years to double your money in the bank. My money is flipping every 6 years, okay? So the next thing is your starting balance. That's how much you got saved after your emergency fund, okay? I always encourage you to save an emergency fund based on your risk tolerance. So some people who have a high risk tolerance, 3 months. For some people who are risk averse, 12 months emergency fund. And your emergency fund is your cost of living every single month times the number of months you need it for, okay? In case something like coronavirus happens. Let's say this thing becomes cyclical. Then what do, okay? And then your salary, okay? So what I want is I'm gonna take Anjanette. I'm gonna take Anjanette and I'm gonna have Anjanette use I want to use Anjanette's number. And Anjanette, you can make these up. You don't have to tell your real numbers, but I just want somebody to give me some numbers, okay? And this is prophesying on your financial future. You heard of prophesying, right? Prophesying is to predict. We are prophesying on your financial future. Right? Y'all know I love making up language. I love making up language, okay? So, Anjanette, how much do you want? What's realistic based on your income or your salary? About how much has it grown or has it been growing annually? How much has your salary been growing annually? Or if she's not here, anybody else? Anybody else? How much did your salary grow in the last year? Anjanette says 6%, okay? Okay, Anjanette, what is your tax rate? What tax bracket are you in? So watch, I'm doing this on the spot for y'all, right? Actually, I'm gonna delete these so you can't even see. So she's growing at 6%, okay? And Anjanette, how much you have saved right now? After your emergency fund? Yes, I'm gonna provide the spreadsheet, y'all. I'm gonna give the spreadsheet. If you're on Instagram, please go to juliangordon.com/TFC, juliangordon.com/TFC. Can somebody give me, anybody can contribute. How much you got saved after your emergency fund right now? Anjanette said 115. So she's rolling. Okay. All right. What's your salary right now? What's your salary right now? Oh, she said I'm at 115 a year. Okay. She's at 115 per year. And how much do you have saved? And Jeanette, how much do you have saved? Yeah, save liquid. Liquid. It's okay. It doesn't have to be exact. Just give me some number. What's in your savings account right now before we logged in? Okay, so she got 40, okay? And then your tax rate, I'm gonna just say 25%. And what would be a good return on your investment? Any money you invested annually? You know what your 401k did last year? Was it 5%? Did it do 8%? Did it do 10%? What's a good return? All right, so she said 11%, okay? So look at this. So where Anjanette is at right now, and we are so happy for you. We are so happy for you. Literally, if you look at year 11, year 12, her ending balance in year 12 years from now, she will be a millionaire if she's able to stay on this pace. If she's able to grow her salary and income by 6%, if she is able to get an 11% return on her investments, and she sets aside 25% of this 115,000, meaning she's investing 28,000 and growing every single year at 11%. In 12 years, Anjanette is gonna be a millionaire, y'all. I mean, $1 million hard cash in her account. 2 commas. These are the 5 numbers that really matter, y'all. This is it, okay? Can I do somebody else real quick? Yes, Anjanette, we claim that for you. Can I do somebody else real quick? Somebody who is not making 115 a year. Yeah, she has to invest 25% of this amount. Her salary, the government's gonna take 25%. She has to invest 25%, and then she has to figure out how to live off of 57,000. Okay. So Pat said, I'm at Pat. All right, I got a couple people going. All right. Somebody else, just give me these 5 numbers real quick. Somebody else, give me these 5 numbers real quick. Salary growth, tax rate, investment return, starting balance, and annual salary. Kiwana says she just sent hers. Where? Where, Kiwana? I don't know where. I don't see it anywhere. Come on, somebody give me these 5 numbers. All right, there we go. So Kiwana is 40,000 salary. So this is a different financial picture, okay? She's not gonna be at 40,000 forever. She got 15,000 saved. Okay. 8K on her 401k. And then salary growth, Kiwana, and your expected investment return. What would be ideal for you? What's your salary growth? 3% salary growth. Okay. And she's trying to get an 8% return at least. Okay. So this is Kiwana's picture. So Kiwana, right now, based on where she's at, she would end up 20 years from now, she would end up at 686. Okay. So we got to figure out for Kiwana how to get salary growth up to 6% and try to get her investment rate up to 30%, and then her return up to 14%. Because if we actually, even right here, even at 8%, if she's able to invest 30%, then she would be a millionaire in 20 years. But here's the challenge. Here's the challenge. This is how this all works together, y'all. She would have to figure out how to live off of $16,000. Okay? See, I never based my living based on that top line number. My living came after. And so y'all wonder why I had a roommate until I was in my early 30s, because I was staying within my living budget. I was staying within my living budget. And because I stayed within my living budget for a period of time, guess what? That's what positioned me to be able to buy that first property in Brooklyn, because I wasn't trying to ball out. I wasn't trying to live in Dumbo. I wasn't trying to go to parties. I wasn't trying to spend money on alcohol. I knew what the long-term game was. Okay. And then now some of those folks have no assets whatsoever. I don't wish that for them, but this was a sacrifice that I was willing to make. Okay. So Kiwana living off of 16,000, I don't know where she lives. That's going to be tough. So we're going to have to adjust these numbers and say right now, maybe she can only do 15%. Okay. Her tax rate is 15% and she could save 15%, but she's able to make this money work at 15%. Look at this. If she has a salary growth of 6%, she has 15,000 right now. She's $40,000 salary. She's able to get her salary to go up 6% per year. She's saving, investing 15% of that 40,000, and she's getting a 15% return on what she invests. Look at this. She's a millionaire in year 19, y'all. She's a millionaire in year 19. This is it, y'all. Like, this is just math. This is just math. And we just have to be focused on these targets. How do I increase my value at this company? Or how do I start a side hustle that's going to increase my income? Okay. Then how am I going to take that money? How am I going to live off of this budget? $28,000 a year. That's only $2,000 and what, like $400 a month. How am I going to live off of that? I got to move back home if I'm going to make this work. And then how am I going to get the money that I am investing to work at 15%? This is it, y'all. Like, there's no rocket science here. There's no rocket science. We just have to keep these numbers top of mind. We have to keep these numbers top of mind. All right? Everybody with me on this? You're going to get your own in just a second. If you're on Instagram, go to juliangordon.com // or forward slash. Please, somebody tell me, is it forward slash? What is it? Is that forward slash TFC? All right? So what we're going to do right now is we're going to look at our assets and we're going to look at our net worth. Okay. So our net worth is your balance sheet. In a business, it has a balance sheet, and the balance sheet gives you the net worth. And the equation for that is assets minus liabilities. What are my assets? What are my liabilities and debts? Subtract those two things, and this is my net worth. All that calculus stuff, algebra stuff that you learned in high school that you might have got a bad grade in, you don't need that to be wealthy. That's not the math you need to be wealthy. This is basic subtraction, okay? Basic subtraction. So I want everybody to go to juliangordon.com /accounting, /accounting. Okay, that's juliangordon.com /accounting. For those of you here with last month, you should already have your spreadsheet saved somewhere in your Google Drive or on your desktop. excuse me. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, please go to juliangordon.com/accounting to download the spreadsheet. Let me type that in. juliangordon.com/accounting to download the spreadsheet. Okay. Now you're probably wondering, Julian, I can't download this. You're going to click. Let me show you. You're going to click file. You're going to click download, and you're either going to you're going to download the actual XLSX file. Click file. Okay. Click file. Go down to download, then download the Microsoft Excel file. You can use that as Microsoft Excel on your computer. If you have a Mac, it'll open up in Pages. And if you want to upload it to Google Docs, then you can use it there and it should hold the formula. Okay. All right. Please say God for everybody who's a vet. Actually, no, there's a lot of vets who weren't there last month. Please type got it when you got it. Type GOD space IT. Got it. Type got it. Got it. I got it. You got it. I got it. You got it. I got it. Change our language. All right. You all got it. Good. Okay. So I'm about to hold space for you for about 5 minutes. No, you're going to need a little bit more time than that. 6 minutes. I'll talk you through it for those of you who are doing it for the first time. Those of you here last month, you've already got started. You need to open up tabs on your computer and open up every single account that you have. Every single account that you have. You need to open up your bank accounts. You need to open up your 401k accounts. You need to open up your car note account. You need to open up your mortgage account. You need to log into all of those, okay? Got to go recent. I know some of y'all ain't even logged in. You don't even want to see the number, your student loan account, Nelnet, whatever. You need to log in. Yep. Go ahead, reset all the passwords, make them. I don't know if you should make them all one thing, but yeah, some of y'all ain't even looked at those numbers. You just like, I'll get to that when I get to it. Okay. That's not how we operate here. We are stewards. We are fiduciaries. Okay. We are responsible for this stored energy that God has given us, and we need to always have an account of it. Okay. I'm not saying we have to do this daily. There are some people who look at their money daily. To me, that's a little too much anxiety and fear-based. Okay. We do this once a month. So you're going to need to log into all of your accounts. Open them all up, all the tabs. Now, you may not finish this here during this service, okay? But I want you to finish it before the end of the day. This is a new ritual. This is a new spirit ritual that we are adding into our financial life, right? So I'm just going to hold space for you. I'll be here to receive questions. It is 3:57 my time right now. We are going to move on to the next set, which is our cash flow at 4:02 my time. So you have 5 minutes to get as much as you can done, okay? So assets, that's your checking account, your personal checking account, your personal savings account, your 401k, any stocks that you have, what they're valued at right now, put your home, I typically don't go for Truly or Zillow. What I like to do is put my appraised value of my home, the last appraisal value. But let's say you bought your home 15 years ago, that value may not work. So if in that case, you can use Truly or Zillow. But if you bought your home within the past 3 to 5 years, I want you to put whatever it was appraised at, okay? Put whatever it is appraised at. You're gonna put the debt down below, but I want you to put its value, okay, right now. Not your equity, it's the value of the home. Okay. Okay. So again, liquid assets are your checking, your savings, your PayPal account, your Cash App, your Venmo, whatever's sitting around, money that you can access really quickly. 401k, your stocks, those are your liquid assets. Then your long-term assets. You might have a stake in a business that has a valuation right now. I would put all my real estate properties here. Okay. Go ahead and put those in. And then you're going to do the same thing for your debts and your liabilities, okay? Going to do the same thing for your debts and your liabilities. You need to log into your student loan account. Okay. And you can see if you're using the spreadsheet for the first time, on the first row where it says January, I want you to change that to, what is it, May? And then to do May, June, July, August, September. So you'll just change the months at the top. Or you can start in May if you want to. Maybe that's easier. Just start in May if you want to. And put today's date, which is 5/3 in the first row. Okay. Get as much done as you can. We're not going to finish. This takes me about half an hour because I know all my passwords and I do this as a ritual. It takes me about half an hour, and I got a lot of different accounts. I got accounts that I'm hiding money from myself. I got all these mortgage accounts, etc. So it takes me about half an hour to do mine. Anjanette said, I have one rental I pay mortgage on, but I rent where I actually live. Two, I just add them up and put them in my rent and mortgage line. You'll put your rent will go on the next sheet, which is your monthly cash flow, your income statement. So you're going to put the value of your single family home, right? And then, for Instagram is going to restart. Oops, gotta restart IG, y'all. 1 second. All right. So for the mortgaged home, you're going to put its value, and then you're going to put the remaining debt. Okay. That's all you're putting here. Then on the next spreadsheet, you're going to put the rental income from that. And then you're going to put as a income stream. And then in your expenses, you'll put your rent. Okay. Oh, yes. Thank you. So, no, don't put April, put May. Put May. Yes, correct. It was May is the moment we're taking a snapshot. May 3rd is the moment we're taking a snapshot. It was based on your behavior in April, but May 3rd is where we're taking the snapshot. So put May, okay? All right, just one more minute here. Use your spreadsheet to put, don't put your full passwords, but put the URLs of all the logins and things of that nature. And put your usernames, and then put like short abbreviated versions of your passwords that only you would understand. You need to have all this in one place. Wendy, you just you click File, Download, and then download the Microsoft Excel version. All right. So real quick, how many of you saw growth in your net worth this month? Even if you didn't finish, how many of you know you had growth in your net worth this month? How many of you know you had growth in your net worth this month? Because a lot of y'all weren't spending money. You weren't spending money on gas. Some of y'all didn't have as much income. I understand the job, furlough, things of that nature, but there are some of y'all who still had jobs and weren't spending money. You weren't going out to the movies. You weren't eating out at restaurants. You weren't spending money on gas, right? There's a lot of money. You didn't spend money on a prom. You didn't spend money on a lot of BS that you typically spend money on because of the quarantine. So some of y'all should be up. And I hope, and the goal is that every month we're up, okay? Oh, Andrea said her 401k tanked. This is why I don't own any assets that I can't control. That's roulette to me, okay? But that's just me personally. If you win in stocks, that's great. But any asset that I can't control, like I can't control what Apple does. I can't control what Tim Cook does and what product he decides to release. And all of a sudden, because I wasn't looking at my account that day, all of a sudden that stock goes down by 10%. I don't want to live like that, okay? I want assets that I know are tangible. I value intangible assets. Don't get me wrong. I got trademarks and things of that nature. But ultimately, I like assets that are predictable, okay? Yeah, but that company match is nice if you can get that. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go to the next. Now we're going to go to the next part, which is your cash flows or income. Okay, your cash flows or income. If you're just joining us on Instagram, you want to go to juliangordon.com/TFC, the Financial Church. You want to join us here on Zoom so that you can see the slides. Okay. And then you want to go to juliangordon.com/accounting to download the spreadsheet that we're using. Andrea said, I asked a question in Q&A. Okay. Andrea said, where does the investment in pre-IPO go on the spreadsheet, like TREF? So where I put TREF on my spreadsheet is in the asset column, and on your K1, which they'll send out soon, on your K1, they'll say what the value of your shares are, and you'll put it there. Okay. So TREF will act like a stock. A lot of you are invested in Tulsa Real Estate Fund. It'll act like a stock. Okay. Except it's not as liquid as a stock. All right. Vani, I cannot get past Microsoft 365 to open the worksheet. Vani, I'm an Apple user. I have no clue what Microsoft 365 is, and I don't know how to help you crack that code. I would encourage you to upload the Excel file to Google Docs and use it that way, or Google Spreadsheets. Yeah. For Tulsa Real Estate Fund, you're going to put it under your savings account as just an asset. Okay. As an asset, just like a stock. It's not liquid, but you're going to put it under your savings account. It's an asset that you have right now. That's where I put mine. Actually, let me go see real quick how much growth I had last month, and I'll just share with you. I'm not going to give you numbers, but I'll share with you growth rate so that you can understand and see how I'm creating. So my net worth last month, my net worth in totality last month grew. My net worth grew by, I think, 4.3%. 4.3% last month. Okay. That's pretty huge because that's my net worth. It was a good month. Despite coronavirus, it was a good month. Some real estate deals and transactions. And but here, I want you to know this. When my net worth grows, my cash goes down. Can anybody understand why? When my net worth grows, my cash goes down. Why would that happen? Because cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. Cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world at 0.03%. So I don't want cash. I will take cash temporarily to find an asset to put it in, but I don't want to hold cash beyond my emergency fund and some operating expenses. I use the cash. So my net worth increases, but my cash goes down, and I see growth in my entire portfolio. Okay. This is counterintuitive. A lot of people think, oh yeah, my cash is going up. This is it. No, but your cash with inflation is actually going down. It's actually going down with inflation, right? So these are wealth principles that we have to understand if we're really going to be good stewards. All right. So go ahead and you should be working on your income statement right now. So how much did you bring in from your job last month, if you have a job or your business? Okay. Did you get your tax return? Did you get a stimulus check? Okay, put that in there. Stimulus check would be under one-time income pops. Stimulus check would be under one-time income pops. I do not have a book yet, Kayla, but I am working on one. It's called, right now, based on the votes from this community, it is called Rich Dad, Rich Son. Rich Dad, Rich Son. And it'll be sharing these financial principles around financial spirituality that I teach here. So I'm writing that early in the morning, every day, trying to sit in front of this computer and get it out. It's all here. The book is here. Just got to get it out into here. Okay. So any other income, and then your utilities. Yeah, you got to open up your utilities account. How much were utilities last month? Everybody was home, so did your heat or AC go up? Your electric bill higher because everybody was on a piece of technology at the house? Trash should be consistent. Gas is going to fluctuate a little bit, but it should be consistent. Groceries probably went up last month, but restaurants probably went down. Okay, so you got to open up your bank statement and you need to get out a calculator and be adding some of this stuff up. Okay, cell phone bills should be pretty consistent unless you're going over. If you're going over, you should probably just get the unlimited plan so that you don't go over. Car insurance is consistent, and typically car insurance is paid in 6-month intervals. Your gas, your car gas should have went down, right? Personal flights should have went down. Nobody was flying, okay? Public transportation. New York, you probably still had to pay for your Metro card. You probably still paid for it, even though you didn't use it that much, okay? Insurance is pretty consistent. Property taxes should go with your mortgage. Rent is consistent. Okay. So based on all of that, you should be able to see what your income was, your true income. Okay. Not what you got from your job. What was left? Oh, your true income is what's left over at the end of the month. What was left over at the end of the month? Did you actually grow? Please type positive if you have more money left over at the end of the month. Type negative if it was negative. Type positive was positive, and type negative if it was negative. Good. Good. So there's been growth. And when you have positive cash flow, then that positive cash flow goes to your asset column, and now your assets have gone up. So it's good. That's okay, Michelle. Michelle, we poured into you last week. So that was beautiful. That's okay. We know that you're correcting. That's why you're here. Andrea said negative, but not for long. That's what I like. That's what we're talking about. Okay? Okay? Beautiful. So this is the process that we go through. Can you type the percentage of how much you got done? How much of this spreadsheet did you get done? Please, 10%, 30%, did you get about 50% done? Did you get 75% done? Are you 100% done? Please let me know. Because I want to figure out. So Teresa said 15, Cheryl said 25, 10%. So at least you got started. In fact, when I was in high school, this is how I finished my homework, y'all. The way I finished my homework was I started it in class. I started it in class, okay? So that I already had momentum. So let's say it was a 30 problem set. I would have like 5 done in class. Well, I'm not paying attention to the teacher. I'm doing homework. And so when I get home, I already have momentum. I'm not starting from a stalled spot, okay? So I hope that that's how y'all take this, because if we were to sit here and wait for everybody to get it done, some people are going to be faster than others, this and that. But hopefully on the first Sundays that this just gives you a little bit of momentum to say, oh yeah, I got to finish this. I want to know my number at the end of the month. I want to see if I grew. So once we get off today, perhaps you take a break, but you come back to it for 30 minutes and knock it out. Does that sound cool? Is that cool? I wish we could just get it all done together, but I'm realizing that this is gonna be very difficult to do. Some people have like 50 accounts. I have like 40 accounts that I got to log into to do mine. Okay. So every first Sunday we'll build the momentum so that you can finish that Sunday. Okay. But you want to do it on that same day so that all those numbers align and you can really see your true growth from month to month. That makes sense? Cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into a visualization, and what you're going to visualize is you being in the 2 Comma Club. All right. You know, I always say we want our bank account to look like a run-on sentence. How many of y'all want your bank account to look like a run-on sentence? How many of you want your bank account to look like a run-on sentence? I mean, with commas and commas and commas. I want my bank account to look like a run-on sentence, okay? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a visualization. And so I need everybody, stop the Twitter fingers real quick, be still. Be still. And I want you to take in this image that you see in front of you. Okay, this is your account balance at 11:45 a.m. It's on some date in the future. We're not going to tie a timeline to it because we know that God moves on its own timeline and based on our willingness to receive. So we're not going to put a date on it and say, oh, I want this $1,000,000 by 2025. No, we're just going to release the timeline, but we are going to see this as a fact. We're turning fiction, which is in our head, into fact in the future, and then we're going to bring that future towards us. Okay. So I just want you to take in this image, like you logging in on your phone to your bank account and you seeing these numbers in your account. Okay. Just take 20 seconds to take that in. Look at every single number, memorize the number if you can. Just take it in. Take it in. 2 commas in your bank account. Okay, deep breath in. Now close your eyes. You don't have to. Do whatever you want. But I want you to visualize with me. You just log into your account. You see these numbers, 1.5 million, top line. I want you to think about where you are at this moment in time. What room are you in? What city are you in? What's in the room? What are you wearing? How's your hair? How's your body type? What's on your desk? Are you even at a desk? Who's around you? What did you do that morning? It's the first thing you did when you woke up. It's the second thing you did. It's the third thing you did. And then what happened? What'd you eat for breakfast? What's the weather like? What's up for the rest of the day? What are you doing this evening? How you getting there? How do you feel? How'd you connect with your creator? Two more breaths. All right. Come back. And I need you to grab a pen and paper, or I need you to type this somewhere. And I need you to type as fast as you can. Stream of consciousness, no thinking. I need you to answer these questions with as much vivid imagery as you possibly can. Okay? Where were you? Just quick. I was here, blah, 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 comma, bedroom, 5-bedroom home. Husband was downstairs. I was in my pajamas. Okay. I felt excited. I had a smile on my face. My hair was done. I had a fresh cup of coffee, my favorite brand. What words describe my self-image? I felt powerful. I felt ease. I felt used by God. I worked out that morning, broke a sweat, took a nice shower, long shower. It was sunny outside. I had a view of the ocean from my house. Probably gonna go to dinner with my homegirl. I'm loving the way my body feels. And of course, when I love how it feels, I love how it looks. My legs are sculpted. I like how my stomach is looking. Falling in love with myself again. Kids are downstairs. They know when this door is closed, it's me time. It's my log cabin within my home, my sanctuary. Oh, and by the way, this was just my personal account. We also have our family account, and that one's looking loaded too. I want to cook a beautiful meal this evening using one of grandma's recipes. Probably I'm gonna actually go have lunch with one of my friends first though, and I'll go to the grocery store. This money, I don't intend to just have it sit here. I'm looking for real estate deals. I'm actually considering being an early stage investor at like 50,000 for this company that I like what they do. It's very in line with who I am and what I think the world needs. I'm actually going to start another take out a life insurance policy for my youngest daughter. Okay. I'm just drinking water, no sugary drinks. Eating clean, not quite vegetarian, pescatarian. Got a dry erase wall in front of me, all my $1 million ideas on them. I'm in no rush today. I haven't even looked at the time. Some orders just came through on my phone. I just feel like all things are working together for my good. All right, wrap up. Cool. So that imagery that you just imagined, an imagination, that is a 100% possibility in your future. We're not tied to a timeline, okay? But that you just experienced is real. The subconscious mind receives that as real right here and right now, okay? And now we just have to get out of the way so that possibility can come into our life. We have to allow it. But you probably hear some undercurrents, some chatter. Oh, this is just BS. I've done this before. I got my vision board. How am I ever going to make that much money? See these undercurrents, fear, doubt, and worry. These are the things that are blocking you from where you are right now, your financial state right now, and the state you want to be in. These are the blockages. These are the blockages. They're all mental. Somebody is experiencing that exact same possibility right now in their life. They are. Somebody somewhere. You might have seen that home in a magazine that somebody owns. Somebody's having that experience right now. So there may be external blockages. There's sexism, there's racism, there's all kinds of stuff out there, okay? But the biggest blockages that we have are up here, y'all. They're up here. Just let's be honest. Let's just be honest with ourselves. What are some of the undercurrents of fear, doubt, and worry? I typically don't like to have us word these things, but let's just look at them for what they are, okay? So that we can say, you're not real. You're dead to me. You're not real. That's not true. Okay? So remember, We are responsible for creating the conditions. We do not do the work. Of myself, I do nothing. That's what Jesus said. Of myself, I can do nothing. Okay? We create the conditions. We plant the seed, which we just did. Okay? Now we water it by giving it attention and we nourish it. And then we weed out the negative thoughts. That's the other W. And then we continue to prune the vision. Okay? You may say, oh, actually don't need a 5-bedroom house. I only want a 3-bedroom house. Right? I actually don't need to live on the coast because California is too far from my family. I actually want to live in the Midwest because that's where majority of my family is. But I can be on a lake. So you continually prune and refine the vision, and then something else sprouts from there. Okay, what we did is we are creating the conditions. And what we did is we just captured the conditions of somebody who has $1.5 million in their account. Okay. And so we want to hold that vibration. And to the degree that you can hold belief that that is true for you, we're not tied to a timeline. Okay. But if you can continue to believe, then you will start to see breadcrumbs that lead you to that actual experience. Okay. Y'all with me? So Ecclesiastes 11:2 says, invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. This couldn't be more real at this moment in time. So again, that $1.5 million, it's not for us to just sit there and look at. It's not there to be cute and say, oh, I'm a cash-based millionaire. Do I want you to have, I want you to have abundance. But we know based on the text that we are supposed to be fruitful and multiply, that our responsibility is to multiply this stored energy. Hear this. This came to me this week. I talk about Christ consciousness, right? Which is our awareness of our oneness with God, right? But guess what? We have to have cash consciousness. We give cash consciousness. Without us, this money is just dead presidents. That's what we call it, right? It's dead presidents. And we give those dead presidents consciousness. We resurrect those dead presidents when we use them towards ideals, ideas, individuals, and institutions that we believe in. Until we use them, they are dead. So we actually give cash consciousness by putting it out there into the world. That is our responsibility. Otherwise, it's just dead. It's just sitting there. So we don't just want this 1.5 million sitting there in your bank account dead, earning 0.03%. We want to put it towards higher ideals, ideas, individuals, and institutions. That is our responsibility as fiduciaries, as stewards, as heirs, is to continue to make Lincoln, Hamilton, Washington, Benjamin, they're working for us. They are our employees. Our ancestors worked hard for some of them. Yeah, some of them were slave owners like Washington, worked hard for them for free. So now you're not going to get off on us for free. We're going to put you to work. We're going to put you to work. Okay? So money is our servant. We do not serve money. We do not work for money. Money works for us. That is where we're trying to get to. Okay? When we move from poverty consciousness to wealth consciousness, money is working for us. We are no longer working for money. Right? So that is the next phase, and that's where we're ultimately seeking to get to. So what I want us to do in chat really quickly is I want us to contemplate how many ways money can come to us. And we're going to do this every month. And let's just say your bank account is 16,000 right now, and we just envision you having 1.5 million. I want you in chat to type all of the different ways that money can come to us besides just a job. Okay? A job is not the only way money can come to you. And if that is the only way money comes to you, then you likely will not achieve $1.5 million. Okay? So assets, be more specific about the type of asset. Dividends, okay? Revenue from my business. Family and friends. Trading, Airbnb, vending machine, insurance contract, book residuals, speaking, inventions, blog revenues, speaking, digital course, private money broker, intellectual property, YouTube channel, graphic artist, selling solar, side hustle, lending, sponsorship, royalties, inheritance, gifts, life insurance, commissions, video production, e-commerce, info summits, real estate. Good, good. So just focusing on a job and trying to increase your income at a job likely will not get you there, okay? We have to be open to receiving money in many different ways. So many of us have tunnel vision in terms of how money can come to us. It can only come to me this way by getting a higher pay and becoming a manager at this company. No. Scripture says 7, 8 streams, investments coming to you every single month. Some may not come to you every single month, okay? Real estate, that comes to me every single month, okay? Total Real Estate Fund, REI, and my other real estate investments, those are gonna come longer term, okay? Longer term. What else? Other long-term investments. Even some of the properties I may sell, even though I got the cash flow along the way, I may sell them once they appreciate by $200,000 so that I can take that capital and deploy it into another property, right? So we have to be open to receiving in many different ways. This is why I encourage all of you to get a Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal. Even if you don't even know what you're selling yet, that shows, right? That shows that you are now open to receiving in these many different ways. Hey, can you teach me how to do this? Yeah, I can. How much do you charge? $50, right? Do you take Cash App? Yeah, I just set it up yesterday, right? Go set it up. Go set it up so that you can be open to receive. So this 1.5 million that I came up with, I didn't just pull that number out of anywhere. Literally, if you could invest $1,000 a month at 5% for the next 40 years, you would have $1.5 million, okay? So this is why I'm so keen on multifamily real estate, because if we can get rent and mortgage off your books and you're investing it, keeping that money and investing it instead, I know I can guarantee all of you become millionaires, but that's not the only way, okay? I'm just asking you to consider the possibility. There's one that has worked for me. It's not the only way though, okay? There are many different other ways as you just listed, all right? So with that, we're gonna conclude with your action plan, and this is our section called Bringing Heaven Down to Earth, okay? Bringing what we have learned up here down to earth. So what is this month's goal? How are you going to decrease? So we have 4-part goals, okay? I'm gonna decrease expenses by blank by doing this. I'm gonna increase revenues this month by blank by doing this. I'm gonna decrease liabilities this month by this much by doing this. And I'm gonna increase assets this month by doing this, okay? So right now, I just want you to pick 2 of these. What are your 2 actions? Type them in the chat for me. What are your 2 things that you are going to do this month to be in a better position next month? What are some of the leaks that you identified in your balance sheet and in your income statement? How can you increase your ability to receive as well as your ability to give? Somebody said, check my Q&A. The replay will be at thefinancialchurch.com. And Cheryl said, how do you manage your money budget if you want to use credit card to earn points, etc., and just pay off the balance? Whatever your credit card balance is as of today, that's what you're going to put that in the debt column, but then your cash should be high because you're not using your cash to compensate for that new debt that you incurred. Or just before Financial Church on the first Sunday, you can go pay off the credit card so that credit card balance is 0, but then your cash is going to be down. So either way, it balances out, okay? So Pat, so I need you to be specific like Pat and Teresa were. So Teresa said, decrease expenses by 180 by sticking to my grocery budget. Increase assets by increase assets by $100 by purchasing more long-term stock investments. Good. Mia, I can decrease my expenses by not buying what I do not need. Last month, I was just supporting Black businesses, so I bought a lot of gifts. Cool. Bonnie, find someone to help to get to work on my computer. Decrease expenses by 200, Gwyneth, by sticking to food budget and growing veggies. Andrea, decrease expenses, not going to Costco, but smaller discount stores like Aldi. All right. Craig, decrease expenses by $45 by cutting my lawn myself. That's a very specific and good one, Craig. Okay. I need to see some more increase though, y'all. There's only so much we can decrease to. I need to see some more increase. This is the challenging part. Increase has infinite, there's no ceiling to increase. There is a cap to decrease, okay? Any more ways we're gonna increase? How can you increase? Okay, buying stocks, yep. Any other ways to increase? Can y'all sell your skills? Can you sell some used furniture or have a garage sale? Can you run some ads for your business? Make an offer for your side hustle? All right. We got to work on our increase muscle, okay? You got the decrease muscle down. I know you know how to live off of nothing, basically, okay? You've been resourceful all your life, right? But we got to work on that increase muscle, all right? Cool. So we're going to end 2 more things and we're done. This is our affirmation that we use at the end of every single month. I literally want to help you all become millionaires through this space by working on the mind. There are people who teach you how to get better at your craft and your skill and selling and things of that nature. But here we focus on the mental conditions that you create. And so I believe that all of you, if you come here consistently, will become millionaires. Again, no rush, no timeline, okay? We're just gonna stay consistent and consistently believing. Even when outward appearances don't match what we know inwardly, we keep believing, right? So here's our affirmation. I am a millionaire. I am already a millionaire in my mind. I may not see it yet, but I believe it now. In the same way a seed is called by its finished form, I'm accepting my divine inheritance as a child of God. I'm meant to have life and have it more abundantly. My treasure on earth shall correspond directly to the treasure in the heaven of my mind. Abundance is my birthright. Ashe, amen, and so it is. I'm going to say it one more time. I am a millionaire. I am already a millionaire in my mind. I may not see it yet with my eyes, but I believe it now. In the same way a seed is called by its finished form, I'm accepting my divine inheritance as a child of God. I am meant to have life and have it more abundantly. My treasure on earth shall correspond directly to the treasure in the heaven of my mind. Abundance is my birthright. Ashe, amen, and so it is. All right. So this is our time for giving, but if you're new, we don't do traditional giving here. We have a different way of giving. I don't need any money. I'm not receiving for a building fund or for my life. The abundance that I have in my life is giving me enough so that I can give freely here. And so the way our giving works is that we give to a collective fund here. And we actually only started this, what was it, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? We give to this fund, and this fund gives back to the members. We give back to the members. So literally in 3 weeks, we raised $1,800, almost $1,900. And we've given to 2 people thus far, okay? So in order to give, I encourage you to go watch the sermon or teaching on tithing. We believe differently about tithing here. But the way this happens is people send money through Cash App, and every month I do an accounting, and I'm actually going to show you the accounting. This is 100%. This is a 100% transparent process. So I'm going to share with you the accounting so you all see. And each week we are giving up to $300 to a member who is in need at this moment in time. And all you need to do to be a member is actually have been in attendance at least 3 times. That means that we know that even if you are struggling in this particular moment, that you are here getting the wealth consciousness so that in the future, you will actually be able to give, all right? So let me share my screen with you so that you can see the accounting. This is a 100% transparent process. We started on 4/12, and we gave $300 to Smiling Faces, a youth program, on the 19th. Last week, we gave $159.64 to Michelle because she was having challenges in her business and she needed some support. I did not hear back from our mill, so we were not able to give to our mill, whose computer crashed and needed support in order to do their work in the world. So this is the actual accounting. We are at $18.93 and 38 cents. And so each week, this is just an opportunity to give. We believe that giving is a spiritual practice. I'm not asking for tithes. I'm not asking for a tenth of your, I'm not asking for anything. I'm only asking for what feels good for you. That's it. Because we know that when we give, we are actually tapping into the abundance mindset. Okay. In the scripture, there's a woman who gave from her quote unquote poverty. But in the scripture, when she gave from her poverty, what was happening is Jesus was making a note that these other people were giving from their wealth, their material wealth. Okay. And they were giving a little bit. She gave from her poverty. Poverty was her condition, but her mindset was actually wealthier than those who were giving from their material wealth. Okay. And so we know that giving is a spiritual practice, and we give back. We give back. And so in just a second, I see some Cash Apps coming in. The Cash App is, let me go back to the screen. I just believe that the way we were giving in church was, I won't say wrong, but that there's a better way to give. Like, we shouldn't be giving in church and then have members struggling. Like, that money, that resource, this stored energy should be used towards supporting that community, that entity, right? And the people in that entity, not just the structure of the entity itself, okay? So again, the Cash App is Julian Gordon, the Venmo is Julian Gordon, and the last 4 digits is 0891, and then there's also PayPal. So right now I'm gonna open up chat and see if there's anybody here who needs to be blessed at this moment in time financially. You already are blessed, okay? We're gonna claim that, but is there anybody who needs to be blessed? And we're talking utilities about to get cut off, cell phone, child needs something, car note, etc. Is there anybody who needs support? There is no judgment. There is no shame. I will bring you on audio. You do not have to show your face, and you do not have to share the story about why you got to where you are. We don't care about that. The only question you have to answer is, how will I be a better steward of money going forward? Okay. In order to receive, we encourage that you have been here at least 3 times, that you are a member of this community, because that shows us that you are getting the wealth consciousness embedded into you. And we know that once your mind changes around wealth, then your outward experience will change around wealth. And that this moment that we are supporting you is actually an opportunity for you to receive and actually tap into your wealth consciousness and know that you will always be provided for, just like God always provides oxygen for each and every one of us. Okay. We don't care what size your gift is. We just encourage you to give. It doesn't matter what size. We're not into size. Size does not matter. I know in some other places, size may matter. Okay. Here, size does not matter. Okay. We just want you to be in the spirit of giving. All right. So if there's anybody who needs support right now and needs literally financial support, this is your opportunity to receive. We are here to be a blessing to you, for you, and God is working through all of us in the collective faith fund that we put together. Again, there's no judgment here. There's no shame in where you're at. This was the old you that manifested as your financial life today. That's the old you, okay? We know that you are working on a new you. You cannot pour new wine into old wineskins or else they will burst, okay? On Venmo, do you add? No, Venmo, it's 0891. Sometimes people said there's a key. There's like some sort of key that's the last 4 digits of my phone number. So on Venmo, some people needed to add that in order to be able to send to me. Is there anybody who needs blessing right now? We really want to give to you. Like, we really want to give. We know we don't want, this money does nothing just sitting here and being hoarded, okay? We really want to pour into somebody, okay? Or up to 2 people. We give up to $300 per week. So I know some of y'all got pride and you're like, no, I got this. I don't need to. No, some of y'all are the person who got handful of groceries. Somebody says, hey, can I get that door for you? And you'd be like, no, I got it. Knowing dang well that you needed some help opening that door. And then you struggle and you drop the eggs. Come on, y'all. Is that just me? Is that just me? Maybe I'm the only one. Let them open that door. Come on. Let us open the door. Okay. So if there's nobody who would like to receive, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Carmelita and Dottie to choose 2 nonprofits for us to give to this week, $150 each. Okay. Whatever nonprofits that you know of doing good work in the community. We're going to do two $150 gifts to those nonprofits. So Carmelita and Dottie, can I get green light on that? And I can send directly to them, or I can send it through you. Carmelita and Dottie, green light. Carmelita, okay. Dottie, yes. All right. So this week we'll be giving to 2 nonprofits. I will correspond with Carmelita and Dottie to get those out. But our intention is that this gets poured back into the community. We know that these nonprofits are out here doing good work. We don't necessarily believe in the nonprofit model of begging and scarcity. And so we don't particularly believe in that model, but where we know people are doing good, we want to support. So, so that is it. Last thing is go ahead and sign up for text message reminders. Go sign up for text message reminders at thefinancialchurch.com. All the replays are at thefinancialchurch.com. All the replays are there. They'll also be on a YouTube channel eventually. But if you missed the one on tithing, if you missed the power of your word from last week, go see those all there, or our first series on the parable of the talents, which is central to this whole philosophy that we teach. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Can everybody in chat just type, what is your greatest takeaway from today? What was your greatest takeaway or aha or breakthrough from today? Type that in the chat. I'll read those off and then we will peace out. All right. Oh, and we're growing, y'all. I don't know how. I know why. I don't know how, but we are growing. Like, the numbers are looking really good. We are reaching a lot of people. So Nicole said the 7 types of millionaires, Mia the affirmation, Mia the longtime friend, UCLA days. Our highest label is a child of God. Make my investment rate, my tax rate, those should be equal. Math for Millionaire spreadsheet. Stewardship, we are stewards. The $1.5 million visualization. Welcome to the 2 Comma Club. Visualizing abundance. Tap into that vibration and that feeling that we are stewards of money, that she gave from her poverty. She was conditioned with poverty, but her mind was wealth. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I appreciate y'all. Please pray for me as I think about next week's message. I don't have it yet. So please pray that I receive that and that I'm able to get that divine download and translate it for you all so that I can be a blessing for you next week, which will be the 10th of May. All right. Love y'all. And I will catch you later. For those of you who are in multifamily movement, I will see you in a couple hours. All right. On our weekly deal room call. Much love, y'all. Peace.